Hello, this is Vani with another Elvis Presley album review. This time I will be reviewing Elvis's last album he recorded during his lifetime, that's Moody Blue, 1977 RCA Victor. This is an interesting album because it has a lot of live tracks blended in with studio recordings that Elvis did at Graceland in a makeshift studio. It also has a good country flavor to it. And the other interesting fact is that it lists Elvis as an executive producer, one of the few times, or I think it's the only time, I'm not sure that actually appears on record. I will rate every song out of 5, so it's going to get a numerical rating out of 5 like I usually do it. And let us begin with the very first song on side A, and that's Unchained Melody. Unchained Melody is a classic love song. It was made famous by the Righteous Brothers, Roy Hamilton, Al Hibbler, but it's Elvis Presley's version that's my favorite, and it's a live recording from 1977 when Elvis was in poor health and had various afflictions throughout his life at this point. He gives a bravura performance, a towering vocal performance. He's majestic in his phrasing. You get to enjoy the full range of his voice. He sings it mainly in a baritone, but he gives it these amazing high notes that he hits in such a sublime fashion. It's just such an enjoyable performance, knowing that he had these problems, that he was in this general malaise, that he lifted up his game to knock this one completely out. I love the orchestration. I like the backup singers, the big crescendos, and most of all, his voice is outstanding. 5 on 5. You could tell I'm a big fan of this song. Which takes us to the second song, and that's If You Love Me, Let Me Know. This one is a country pop number. It has that 70s country pop flavoring. It's another live recording. It's okay. Elvis does a decent job vocally, although he seems to be buried in the background. For some reason, the backup vocalists seem to dominate. I do like the guitar work by James Burton. The song's not particularly well written. I give that one a 3 out of 5. Which takes us to the third song, which is Little Darling. Little Darling is a doo-wop song from the 1950s, and Elvis sort of remains faithful to it. It's another live recording. Unfortunately, Elvis kind of trivializes the song. He's a bit too jokey on this one, a little too much jocularity maybe. I don't know, he substitutes a line that says, hold my hand, he's like, hold my foot, hold my hand, and you can sort of he's having too much fun, maybe, with the song, and unfortunately, that brings it down a bit. He also seems to rush it in his delivery, like he can't wait to get it over with, and for that reason, I give it a 3 out of 5. But I also must add that he does some fantastic high notes on the song. I mean, he hits some superb high notes. So 3 out of 5 for Little Darling. If You Love Me, Let Me Know, the same 3 out of 5. Which takes us to the next song, which is He'll Have to Go. This is straight country that Elvis sings in a baritone. I was never a big fan of this song. Jim Reeves had a huge hit with it. I don't know, it's kind of a pass-me-by number for me, my least favorite track on it. His singing is a bit too much in that baritone vein for me. It's a very long song, it kind of loses me. Not one of his best vocal performances. By all means, it's not a poor vocal performance either, but it is kind of forgettable, so 3 out of 5. Which takes us to another live track, and that's the last song on the first side, and that's Let Me Be There. Let Me Be There, I believe, was recorded in 1974 live, and Elvis is engaged in this one. He does an excellent job vocally. The band is excellent on it. I really like the last 40 seconds of this song, where he really delivers it with immense power in his voice, and it sounds like he's having fun. The backup musicians are excellent. The backup vocalists do a great job. Very good live track. I give that one a 4 out of 5. Which takes us to side 2. And on side 2, we start with the hit off the album, and that's Way Down. Way Down was a top 20 hit in the United States and a huge, huge hit in the United Kingdom. A lot of people say, or critics have surmised, that this is Elvis going disco, when in fact for me it's more Elvis with a funky flavor and a delicate gospel nuance, if you will. I like his vocals on it. I enjoy the words. It's very well written, and some great work by James Burton on this song, so 4 out of 5 for that one. The next song is Pledging My Love. This is a classic love song with great lyrics, made famous by Johnny Ace, who has probably the best version of this song. I like what Elvis does with it. He actually gives it a country pop rendering, and his vocal phrasing is outstanding. He basically sells every line. You believe that he is devoted. It's a song of devotion and relationships, and he delivers it with sincerity. I like what the musicians do. Again, James Burton does some remarkable guitar work throughout this album. However, the Johnny Ace one is the classic version. Elvis's is definitely up there. 4.5 out of 5. Good country pop, making it his own, Pledging My Love. 4.5 out of 5. Which takes us to the other hit off the album, and Moody Blue. That's what it is. That's the third song and the title of the album. Moody Blue is a very well-written song. I love the rhyming pattern. It's clever. It's up-tempo. It's enjoyable. Elvis seems to have fun with it. He believes in it. He delivers every line magically. I like its bouncy feel. Really good pop song. It should have been a bigger hit than it was. I know it was a #1 country hit, but it kind of stalled on the pop charts. It did decent, but not as good as it should have done. 4 out of 5. The next song is called She Thinks I Still Care. This song, for me, is my favorite on the album. George Jones had a big country hit with this in the early 60s, and everyone seems to like his version. I prefer Elvis's. It's just a dynamite version of this song. Every line is sung with visceral emotion. Just an incredible effort in phrasing, in vocalizing. You believe his melancholy. You get a hint of his regret. You get that he's trying to sell himself on something that cannot be bought. I mean, it's just a remarkable, heart-wrenching performance. It's really like a... I don't know how to describe it. It's just, considering what he was going through in 1976, the fact that I mentioned that he was in poor health, and he just delivers it with such exceptional emotion throughout. Not one line is lost in this. An incredible, beautiful performance, 5 out of 5. Which takes us to the last song, and that's It's Easy for You, which is a bit of an anomaly because it was written by Weber and Rice, the prolific songwriting team who gave us Jesus Christ Superstar and other great songs throughout. Elvis seemed to enjoy these lachrymose, sort of somber songs that had this kind of gloomy edge to them, and he excelled. I do like the orchestration. I like the building of the song that Elvis and Felton Jarvis, his regular producer, did an excellent job with this. I love his voice. There's a touch of sadness in there, you know, a hint of the melancholy, if you will. Not more than a hint. You feel. You could feel the pain in his voice, and it's very well written. A song about losing in relationships, really well written, and a good way to end the album. I give that one a 4 out of 5. So overall, Moody Blue's production values are very high. Some good mixing on this album, good overall sound, good blend of pop and country. You know, so if you're into that, it's a very good Elvis album to pick up. And the live tracks are pretty good. So overall, I get a score of 39.5 out of 50, which gives it about a 79%. And therefore, it gives this album, gives Moody Blue, a B+. So there you go. Moody Blue gets a B+. So if you like this video, I do have other Elvis Presley album reviews. I do some skits, I do some poetry, some original song material as well. Please subscribe, comment, or like. I thank you for listening and hope you enjoy this review. Thank you.